earlier this year, I gave y'all a look at the games I was looking forward to. And I also looked at the indie games that I was looking forward to for 2025. But lucky for me, I got to play one of those indie games a little bit early before it comes out. And I want to tell y'all a little bit more about it and if I'm still excited for it. What's good, everybody? It's Blue Satire. I want to show my face real quick before we get into this video because I ain't been doing that lately. But hope everybody's having a good one. And I wanted to tell y'all today about Wanderstop. It's a game that I've been looking forward to. It's a little different, but also it's an indie game, and it's an indie game from a studio who's making their first game. But before we get into it, please like the video. And if you like the content, if you want to see more things like this, please subscribe. But let's get into this game and let me tell you a little bit more about what Wanderstop is and how I felt about the preview that I was able to play a little bit earlier. Let me turn my narrator voice on. Sometimes you need a game that'll help you relax, a game that let you sit and reflect on just life, things like that. For me, I love video games where I can just chill, do everyday tasks, and wind down for the day, or even just take a break away from the action, the high-paced games. And that's what Wanderstop is for me. But for those who don't know what Wanderstop is, let me tell you a little bit about the game. Wanderstop is a cozy narrative-centric experience where you play as Alta, who is a fallen warrior, as she adjusts to life while managing a tea shop. Yes, a tea shop. This game is about making tea and adjusting to a new life with some of the characters and wanderers that will be coming into the shop. It's going to help you clear your mind. It's going to help you adjust, but also maybe recollect on some painful memories or even make you move on. Who knows yet? And what I like so far about the story in Wanderstop is that it is kind of reflective. You see this character who is used to fighting, who is very hardened, kind of rude a little bit, get thrown into a world where she isn't used to the things that she's seeing, and the thing that she is used to, she can't get back anymore. But she has help from this friendly person named Boro that teaches her how to make tea. And making tea is not a thing you might think of when you think about video games, but what attracted me to the idea of this game was I love games where you get to meet people, talk to people, learn about them. And a game I can think of is Coffee Talk, where you make coffee for characters, a host of colorful characters, and learn about their life. But this time you're also learning about your own life in this game. You see a little bit of Alta's personality with each person that she interacts with. And I've gotten to talk to about 2 or 3 different people in this game, and they're all their own different type of characters. And I'm kind of excited to see where this goes in the future when the full game releases, because some of these characters were really interesting. I'm like, how are they gonna annoy Alta next? Because Alta is definitely not fond of these people at first, but you also have a choice in what you say that kind of shapes her personality as well. And again, the main gameplay loop in this game is making tea. But to do that, you gotta actually grow and harvest the ingredients that you need for the tea. And when you do that, you mix them all together. And that's a cool little process they have for you. While they give you like a little plot that you can plant different type of teas, different type of fruits and ingredients that you would need for the tea, I find it pretty cool that you can actually plant this stuff anywhere that space is free. But another thing is they give you like this notebook that lets you know what different type of hybrids you have, what different type of flowers that you have. And the way you arrange these plants will make new plants or make new hybrids or even larger hybrids that you use for your tea making process. And you know, this is akin to the things that we used to play in these cozy like games like farming sims, where you plant your stuff, you water them. But I think this element of planting stuff in specific patterns, remember, I think that brings a new kind of challenging way to it, or just remembering things, because it's there for you to see and remember how to plant things. And you can arrange it as how you want to arrange it, and you can actually move the things. But also, I think it's cool that you can make different type of plants depending on the pattern that you do. It kind of reminds me of like that gene chart we did in science class. I ain't passed science, but anyway. But once you get your plants, once you get your fruits, and once they grow, there'll also be tea leaf plants around the farm, around the outer edge of the farm, that you have to dry first. You have to put them in a little container that you collect with your basket to dry those tea leaves. And once you get that, you get your little ball. And that's where the cool part for me starts at. Once you have your ingredients, you go to this giant contraption that looks like a flash. And we were talking about science earlier. This actually looks like one big science experiment ready for something wild to happen. And once you got all your ingredients ready, you actually got to get on this ladder and climb to the very top. And there is a bunch of contraptions, a bunch of levers that you need in order to complete your tea making process. And first you got to add some water. You got to heat that water up and drop it into another flask. And that's when you put your ingredients in and there are a host of different ingredients. I didn't get to have too many in this preview, but I'm sure there's gonna be more. I had like jam, I had different type of fruits that have different effects, and different type of plants that help make the flavor of tea that you want. And when you're done at the end, you just pour it in your cup. You serve it to your customer, you serve it to your person. And that's where a lot of the story comes in at too, because the people that actually want the tea are some of the people that you will get your story from. Some of the characters that you'll meet in this game, and they are all different, and you learn a little bit about their life. That's the other part of the core gameplay for this game, is speaking with the many travelers that's gonna pass through the shop, the Wanderstop, as you will. And you learn their stories through tea, and you learn a little bit of Alta's personality as well. And in between all of that, you'll do things like tidying up, decorating, taking pictures, a lot of things that you expect in those cozy games, but also it's just a game where you can sit down and relax, and that's what I like about it. I found a lot of the characters to rarely contrast who Alta is, being very cheery or positive or maybe even delusional, but also contribute to what Alta is trying to overcome. While she's still fighting her past, her present and her future is sitting right there in her face. And I think this game is gonna be, I still think this game is gonna be pretty fun for me. What I did play, I was excited. I love the colorful cast. The characters look cool, diverse. A lot of people hate that word diverse today, but I don't. The soundtrack and sound design is pretty good. And then the overall look of the game, the graphics look great. They're very colorful. The sky, the starry sky that you see when it's nighttime is daytime, and just going around the shop period. There's places with picture frames where you can arrange things. There's a cool little design of how to wash your dishes. Like there's like a little waterfall contraption that you put your dishes in to get washed, and they go into the heater and you can put them back on the shelf. I don't know, I think that's cool, but just the overall feel of it, the cozy feel that a lot of the cozy gamers love. People that love those games that's relaxing, this will be a game for you, I believe. It's a game for me. And I think there'll be a lot of lore in here, a lot of stories and elements to get to know Alta's past. And that's what I'm really looking forward to. Overall, since it was a short preview, I didn't find too many problems in it. I do wonder how long this gameplay will be satisfying. I think the main thing with this is that the tea is just a part of the story. Although I do like the tea making process, and I do love that there are different type of plants and fruits and things that you can make. And each tea that you make actually gives different dialogue for Alta when she sits on the bench and think. And everyone likes their own different type of drink, so you'll get a lot of story depending on what you get and what they ask for. So I do think that the more we play this game, the more we see it, there'll be more people to get to learn from, and that's what I'm excited for when it comes to Wanderstop. That's what I'm most looking forward to. All in all, from what I can see, this game looks to be a story about living and being happy in the moment, even when the past is running or chasing after you, or maybe when you can't get over the past, or when you're used to something, but something better is coming for you and you still can't accept that. And I think a lot of people can identify with that. Again, this is a game from an independent studio. We love indie games here. Shout out to Ivy Road, a team that's grown to 17 members, and seeing them make their first game, and for a first game, this looks amazing to me. And the concept is different while still having some things that are familiar. I think that this is a good outing for a first game, and I can't wait to see what else they do in the future. And I can't wait to see this game. Be on the lookout for Wonderstop when it releases on March 11th. You ain't got too long, y'all. And if you're looking for something cozy, something different, and if you're a tea enjoyer, or if you feel like good narrative stories, I do think this will be good. But that is all for me. I appreciate y'all for watching, and y'all have a good one.